It's raining out. We rolled the red carpet. We wipe our feet on our carpet, not theirs.
It's me, Mikey Pipes. This is a Weil McLain Ultra 3, high efficiency, wall hung, space heating hydronic boiler. If you have one of these machines in your home, you'll want to pay a close attention to this video, making sure your service company does step by step the way we service these machines. It's detailed in an instruction manual. Make sure they can read, okay? You're an HVAC or plumbing mechanic technician. You work on these machines, watch this video. Maybe you don't do it this way. You should be. It's in the manual. Follow the instructions step by step. You'll give years of dependable service for your clients. Let's get going.
Homeowner was like, uh-oh, I heard you're making a video, can't be good. So I had the GoPro yesterday for the cast iron waste pipe I replaced. In a ceiling that, all by myself. I didn't even have you, Peter. Pretty impressive, huh? All by myself. All right, here is the Weil McLain Ultra $299. $299 right there. Let's give you some more light right there. Okay. So I wasn't gonna put together a video for the maintenance of this machine, but then I realized, you know what? This is a very complex yet simple machine to service. So I figured, you know what? You guys work on this. I know you guys don't like the heat exchanger, especially at the bottom, right? If this condensate gets clogged up, all that acidic condensate sits in the bottom, it'll rot through the bottom of the heat exchanger, and you'll have exhaust gases exiting out of the bottom of the heat exchanger, and of course it's going to use that to suck in its own gases. Oh, we also have this, look at that, okay. Flue sensor, just like the Burnham Alpine. Same kind of issue with that, see? This is the stack sensor or flue sensor. But nonetheless, the Ultra 3s inheritedly have problems with failed heat exchangers on the bottom. Here, you have a hole that develops, and that's primarily due to a clogged condensate, partially clogged condensate, and the acidic condensate eats the cast at the bottom. And similar to a death box incorporated, it's leaking combustion gases. It's sucked into it for fresh combustion air and quickly degrades the integrity of the product.
One of the first things you want to know how to do, and that's access the contractor menu. Let me show you how to do that.
Here is the manual, pardon the display. It should have been replaced a while ago, but it's like GE. It keeps bringing good things to life, and it keeps working. We're going to hit the right arrow button from the main screen. Now I'm going to hold the up and the down arrow buttons together. We're going to hold that down until about 5-7 seconds. I'm going to let go. And now we're in contractor menu. That's how you get into there. You're going to see boiler settings. You're going to see system settings, diagnostic, maintenance information, date and time, things like that, right? So we're going to go into maintenance info. And then since we just serviced it, we're going to reset reminder like that. And go like that. All right, let's get going. Okay, so now we have the gas disconnected. We have electrical to the blower assembly disconnected. And now Peter is slowly taking off all of the nuts that hold on the front plate of the heat exchanger. All right. And I'm doing this, because when I took out the condensate trap and I put a little, I actually put a flat screw screwdriver in there. I did not like what was coming out of there, which means we got a lot of cocky in there. So we want to clean that out because I don't want to replace this boiler or the block of the boiler. And it would be the boiler. As lucrative as it is to replace boilers, for me, I don't want to do it. If I could do the right maintenance on the high efficiency system, and give them another 10 years. I've done my job. So, Weil McLain Ultra 3, whether it's the smaller, the 105, the 299, the 399, it's in the manual. Heat exchanger cleaning, annual service. We do have to take the ground wire off. Let's get a little Phillips screw and take the wire off. And then we'll take the front plate off. And when we take the front plate off, it's also going to include the gas valve and venturi blower. And we'll be good. All right, Peter. You've done a number of these with your brother, Daniel, right? What?
Yeah.
And now look, you're more, does he let you do this? Or does he normally do it?
He usually does it because he gets it done quick.
Okay, well, with practice makes perfect, right? So unless you do it with your own hands, it may take you some time, but it doesn't matter. We have a flat rate for heat exchanger cleaning. Let's slowly pry this away. It shouldn't be hot. It's warm, but it shouldn't be hot. There you go. And once you get that off, I want you to place it upside down and put it on the floor right here. Isn't it nice? Look at this nice mechanical room, right? Water filtration, zone control. Very nice. Good. Okay. And I want you to put it right there on the floor. And we'll pay very close attention to the mesh. We had a customer that needed one. It was about $1,000. And that was the $399. This is a $299. So part of the maintenance kit for the was it the 150s? What is this? This is the 155 to $399. We get these gaskets. So we're gonna change those next. All right. Very, very nice. Okay. So now let's take a look at the inside of the heat exchanger. We did this last year and look at it. Still has a lot of buildup in there. Let's take a look at the bottom. All right, shine that into view and you could see, not looking too pretty in there. Not bad, but also not looking too pretty. Okay, so we're gonna get the sword and then we're gonna clean this thing down and then we're gonna get some water and rinse it down. We also need the brush. Okay, this is the Weil McLain Ultra 3 sword. Ha! So, that's how this works. Just like this. Every single row. See, you can feel it. Every single row. That's what you gotta do. Okay? Just like that. Just about done sorting heat exchanger. A lot of corrosion, a lot of buildup. I wouldn't say corrosion, a lot of buildup on the bottom here. I experienced the same on the right side. Okay, so let's take a look and see what we got of that coming out of the bottom of it. So, a significant amount of debris. Buildup. It looks like chunks of calcium, but it's actually very fine but coarse at the same time. All right, we have a little wire brush. I'm just going to brush down the inside top of the heat exchanger. All right, and then once this is done, we're going to get some water and wash out the heat exchanger. All right, while I've been cleaning the heat exchanger, Peter has been cleaning the front plate. Here's another brush if you like. Is that a new gasket already?
Yep.
How come you should have cleaned it before you put the gasket in? Smart. Yeah. Well, next time take the gasket off before you clean. Good. All right. I got a little hose. We're gonna tie into right here, and then we're gonna rinse the heat exchanger with some water. Come on, what the hell?
Okay, let me get my light back on. And I'm not worried about the trap and all that other stuff right now, because we're going to do that again later in the neutralizer. So let's just rinse this down with some water. Okay, make sure we don't do too much. We don't want to overflow our drain there. Okay, and there it is coming out. So far so good. So we're going to keep rinsing. Slow and steady wins the race. All right, you can also use, you know, that the miniature power washer that we use for the ductless units to rinse this out, or you can just take some water, bottles of water and get it in there, but you want to rinse it down with not ice cold water, but warm water at a minimum. All right, one last final rinse. Just rinsing it all down, and then we'll flush out the trap of any of the cocky that made its way to there. But you can see night and day difference. Now she's clean. All right, I'm taking my little sword, trying to break up the debris that's in the bottom there. If you look close enough, that bottom. Look close enough. See that bottom right here? That it's starting to give way right there. See? It's not as solid as the rest of it was. So make note of that. Make the homeowner aware that the damage has already been done. But gotta scrape up this stuff, and hopefully it's not like pulling a scab off the skin, but try to get that as clean as possible. All right. Peter is just about done replacing the flame rods on the front cover of the burner assembly. Well, burner assembly or combustion chamber. We have the new gaskets in place. It's very, very nice. So it looks like the only thing left to do now is to put it onto the heat exchanger. Now, one thing to keep in mind, if you have an Ultra 3 that has it's tagged for a manufacture date after July 16th, limit use of vacuum for the first 5 years only. Says in the service manual, in case you doubt me. There it is. Right? For new Ultra 3 boilers manufactured after July 2016, tagged and visually marked, stamped on the front right of the heat exchanger. Right there, see? Limit cleaning to the use of vacuum or water rinsing for the first years of operation. No cleaning tool is necessary. So we don't need a sword like we used, but this is from 2012 and it's necessary. All right, Peter, grab a hold of that she beast. It's a she beast. Better than a bull dyke. Okay, very good. Okay, very nice. Okay, let's get a few of the nuts and we'll scatter them. Well, stagger is the word I'm looking for. Stagger, put them on, like one on the left, one on the right, one on top, one on the bottom, and then we'll put on the remainders of the nuts that hold on the front plate of the heat exchanger. Very nice, very, very nice. All right, now we are staggering the tightening, kind of like the car rim.
Yeah.
And we're tightening up all of the bolts on the heat exchanger. All right, this should take the seasoned mechanic, technician, no more than 2 hours. Less experience, maybe 2.5, pushing 3. Okay. Think you got all of them? Yeah. Excellent. Perfect. All right. Ground wire back on the flame rod. Good. Just
Stick that back on there like that. Okay. Beautiful. There was a screw that held this in.
Oh,
yeah,
put it back in.
perfect. Yep, they actually have a little wire tie right there, and it's screwed into the gas valve. I guess with the vibration, this just has a tendency to come out. So make sure you put the screws back in. They're there for a reason. Would hate to go on a recall on a Christmas morning. Well, it's snowing. You know, because there's no ignition, or ignition failure, because you forgot a screw. You want to lick it before you stick it? No, you got it. Very nice. Any Latinas chicas in your near future? No.
No problem.
Trick or treating yesterday? No. With Latinas chicas? No. No. All right. Damn. You never know. Okay. Everything's now reconnected. Let's turn the power switch back on, which is on back of the boiler, and we have power. Good. All of our sensors are reattached. So we're going to continue. And we're in standby mode. So we're gonna fire this bad boy up. On top of the water heater is the aquastat. Let's crank that up. Make sure we get ignition. Heat up the indirect. And this popped out again. That flue stack sensor. We're gonna have to get a new gasket for them for that. Okay. Houston, we have ignition. Okay. Right now we're in domestic hot water. Okay, we'll let this thing fire up, cycle, put the cover back on, and do a combustion test.